So you can keep 2 betel leaves, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin, and you can put that on a plate and offer it to Devi. Keep that in front of the screen and offer it to Devi every time that you have darshan. You'll see how with this one simple gesture with Devi Parashakti just grows. Your connection with Devi grows so much more with the simple gesture. Now with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program and we'll be entering into the next segment where we will be understanding some of the revelations made by Devi Parashakti for humanity. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously guiding us and blessing us, has been answering every one of our prayers and healing us during this time. So Devi has revealed many sacred revelations in order to help us, in order to guide us, and in order to ensure that we are staying protected at this time. One of the most important revelations that Devi Parashakti has revealed are about the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19. So in this segment, we will be exploring each of these methods and understanding the benefits of each a little bit more deeply. But first, let us understand the compassion of the other avatar in the Guru Padaka Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya. The very first verse describes how the Guru Padaka, the sacred feet of the Guru, is the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And in this verse, Adi Shankaracharya describes salutations to the sandals of my Guru, which is a boat which helps me cross the endless ocean of life, which endows me with the sense of devotion to my Guru, and by worship of which I attain the dominion of renunciation. Many of us have been feeling stuck in the same stormy and raging ocean, being unable to navigate ourselves and lost in the overwhelming vastness of the suffering that surrounds us during the Pralaya, the great deluge. Our loved ones are dying due to the pandemic. Our homes are being destroyed due to natural disasters. Social institutions are crumbling, and the whole of humanity is in a desperate and dire need of hope. And the Cosmic Mother has come down to alleviate the suffering of humanity. It is at this time that the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic superconsciousness, has having out of his love and compassion, having taken the spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, in guiding and healing the whole world, as literally the boat that sails us through the Pralaya, the cosmic deluge. Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering each of our prayers, granting boons, healing us, manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity at large. Devi Parashakti has guided the whole of humanity in the form of revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues, the COVID pandemic, natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human and underground wars which have not surfaced common knowledge as yet. In this segment, we will be elaborating on the statistical, scientific, and scriptural references of each sacred revelation, which is manifested precisely as the same guidance emerged from Devi Parashakti for us to imbibe deeply and to start following as Devi Parashakti continues to protect us until the storm ends and we are safely harbored at the shores of our consciousness. Now, let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelation on the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19, as all of us have been affected in one way or another, directly or indirectly, by this ongoing on the mind of every human being. So let us understand what Devi Parashakti has given as a way to protect yourself from COVID-19.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு. கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட, நன்மையை சொல்லிட, தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் 1, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் 2, எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாரி வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4, நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5, சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபாஜல் 6, நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7, பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும் வாழ்வீர்கள் வளத்தொடு நல் ஞானம் யோகத்தொடு நாமே நிம்மோடு நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள். எட்டில் ஒன்று செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப்
Yes, let us look at the revelations made by Devi Parashakti map. Oh, humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, praying and meditating on me, surrendering to me through social media, wherever I am residing, worshiping me by doing the fire walking, applying turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on me every day, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss. Doing the Ajiva Ajiva of the cosmic sound, Shiva, 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 with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heel, and going to sleep. Being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as Aham, Aham, in the state of Ananda Spurana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have effect of Corona. They don't have fear and delusion of Corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune. Me with you, you as me as you. You will live good life, even if you do one of these 8 ways. I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. Don't have fear, O people. Be blissful. Parashakti has revealed the 8 methods to protect all of humanity from COVID-19. We are now going to explore each of these methods and understand the benefits of each method revealed by Devi Parashakti. The first method revealed by Devi is praying and meditating on Devi Parashakti. So science has extensively studied meditation, and Healthline has listed out some of the science-based benefits of meditation, which includes reducing stress, controlling anxiety, promoting the emotional health, enhancing self-awareness, lengthening the attention span, and it may also reduce age-related memory loss. It can generate kindness. It may help fight addictions. It improves sleep. It helps control pain. It can decrease the blood pressure, and it is easily accessible anywhere. So a study conducted by the Cambridge University Press reiterates the necessity of meditation during times of crisis such as COVID-19. And research published in Everyday Health has shown how prayer and spirituality protects the emotional health by offering a bigger sense of purpose, by providing social support, by lifting the spirits, by helping you cope with the difficulties. And a September 2015 report published in Health Psychology found that when researchers followed 191 people with congestive heart failure for 5 years, they found that those who reported feeling spiritual peace and who also made some healthy lifestyle changes were significantly more likely to live longer than their peers. And people with major depressive disorder or chronic medical illnesses who report high levels of religiosity, which includes daily religious experiences, generally become more optimistic than their peers. This was found in a study published in July 2015, Depression and Anxiety. So now, let us look at what the avatar has revealed as the benefits of meditation on our brain, the impact of meditation on our brain, directly demonstrated by
Nithyananda participates and encourages scientific researchers to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
When Swamiji came, I have requested him to do one thing. I asked him, would you be willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process? He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that. Because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. Scientific findings are verifiable. They are replicable. You can replicate them, duplicate them. So Swamiji went through those sessions and we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is it, deep, deep. It lights up significantly right here, right in the middle. Probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was, Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that one. See that light right here? So what's interesting was, I've never seen that before in my life. So the other parts I've seen may not be to the extent that Swamiji showed, but this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. If you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. It basically evokes pleasure. If you eat, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure. It's mediated through dopamine. Everything that human being experiences involves dopamine. But what's interesting is that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is the dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of those states. Those are some of the findings I want to share with you. There's so much more in the body. It's a fascinating field that this is something that all human beings can relate to, can apply in our own lives. not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, has been baffling the medical world, curing diseases from migraine to cancer. Qualified people are also initiated to become healers. The complete report of the research conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
Now that we have understood the impacts of meditation on our brain, let us now look at prayer and how prayer can be stress buster as revealed by the 3-month book.
If you are not allowed to do yoga, made to believe early morning sleep is the best thing in your life, you are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 30-40 minutes and melt down by feeling connection. Understand? Nothing can be compared to prayer to bust your stress. I tell you, prayer is the best stress buster. Deep feeling connection and tears rolling in your eyes and melting down. Prayer to Paramashiva. Intense yearning, Vyakulata, talking to Paramashiva, relating to Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, everyday puja, ultimate recharging experience. If you do everyday puja, the kind of the stress-free life you will live, your whole biological clock will be aligned to Kailasa. I tell you, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long. Not just long, happy. In my whole life, it is Nitya Puja, Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Everyday puja, relating with the deities is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, dress up the deities, jewel them, spend time with them, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect and pray. Understand? You do not know the power of Archavatara. God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. What living avatar can do to you, an Archavatara can do. Atma Linga I am giving to all of you is literally living Archavatara. Is a piece of God. Literally.
Yes, let us look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti. Surrendering to me through social media. So you can connect with Devi Parashakti on all social media platforms in order to ask your prayers and be blessed by Devi Parashakti. So you can connect with Devi via YouTube. So you can visit Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel and go ahead and join as a member of the channel. And once you've done that, you can ask your questions in the live comment section during the live Parashakti Akashic reading. And you can also connect with Devi through Facebook. So you can like and follow Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page. And again, you can ask your comments, your questions in the comment section of the live Parashakti Akashic reading on Facebook as well. And you can also follow Sri Nithyananda on Twitter and ask your questions in the reply section of the tweet with the hashtag AskTheAvatar. You can also follow Sri Nithyananda on Instagram and ask your questions via Instagram and the comment section of the photo. And lastly, you can ask your questions via WhatsApp. So you can go to kailasa.org and you will see the WhatsApp chat box that pops up on the side, as you can see here. And you can ask your questions there to Devi Parashakti. And through each of these ways, you can receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti and be protected from COVID-19. So now let us watch a short clip of Devi Parashakti blessing people.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
Look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti. Worshipping me, Devi Parashakti, by doing the fire walking wherever I'm residing. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed that fire walking is an alchemy process. In the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself, our rishis and munis have been adepts and masters in every field, whether health or keeping the society safe. In every field, all the vratams, the pujas, the spiritual techniques, the religious rituals, anything they design is highly scientific and directly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because that fire walking time, the small blisters you get, just shoots up your whole immunity. That power, the power to protect yourself from any virus or any problem. It's actually a powerful technique. It's a very powerful technique followed in those days, especially during this season. Especially that is done very traditionally, systematically. If you had even small blisters, and even if you did not have any blisters, you are protected already from corona problem. You will not be affected at all. Corona will not work on you. It will not affect you, and you don't have to worry. It is a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's 11 feet length, the burning live charcoal on which you are supposed to walk with the traditional powerful music which activates your lymph system, we call it in the back of the neck. This music will feel like it is hitting the back of your neck, and your whole detox system will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, you should walk on fire, not just like that, you will walk on fire. You will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire, the 11 feet fire pit. If you do for one fire walking, you are absolutely protected from corona. Pray to Mahamariam and do the fire walking. That is it. It's like a traditional powerful vaccination. Pray to Parashakti Mahamari and do the Patipatiratam. Do this traditional fire walking and you are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. The traditional vaccination, traditional, natural, organic, no bad side effect vaccination is the Hindu fire walking. So now let us understand the science behind fire walking.
All these transmutation processes means balancing the system and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheeks, how they are sensitive, they don't become they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for the complete Kundalini awakening, your whole body needs to be alive and experiencing the reality and ability to experience the higher consciousness. That is the reason we have the process of fire walking.
Now that we have understood the science behind fire walking, let us look at what modern science has also understood about fire walking. But before that, let us watch a short video of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself doing the fire walking in the sacred city of Tiruvannamalai, the birthplace of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself.
சத்தியம் காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே எங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஆதியும் நீயே, ஜோதிமலையிலே அவதரித்தாயே. அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே, அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே. தீயினிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி. தீயினிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி. கருமங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த, தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய். கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த, தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய். தீயினிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி.
Yes. Now let us understand what modern science has understood about firewalking. According to a study conducted by the U.S. Study of Medicine, the National Institute of Health, regarding the various effects of and benefits of firewalking, it was found that firewalking actually increases the levels of happiness and lowers fatigue levels in people who participated in firewalking compared to those who did not. So now let us look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti: applying turmeric on your chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on Devi Parashakti every day. So let us understand the benefits of neem juice as revealed by the Supreme Consciousness.
Bididi. It is not, I am not talking from air, I am talking from ground. In Bididi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to live comfortably in that very land. It's only pouring, pouring Karumari's grace wherever we started ashram. Nature completely cooperates because we know biology, whole biology thinks. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter neem juice every morning. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, kind of vibes. Take Haritaki. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice. You release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. That neem paste and turmeric powder, if a woman takes bath with that, she is equivalent to Mahamayi. She is embodiment of Karumari, because she will be manifesting that same vibes of Karumari. I sincerely recommend people start doing all these activities, like applying neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath, applying turmeric powder and taking bath, applying basma and taking bath, especially for men, basma, for women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by both all genders. That is different. If you want specific, I'll recommend the neem and turmeric for female body, haritaki and basma for male body. Understand your whole biology things. Working on whole biology changes the whole life. So, now with this understanding the whole biology things, think Mahavagya. This is Ajapa Ajapa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology thinks. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessings to all of you. Start manifesting powers now.
Yes. Now that we have understood the benefits of neem juice, let us look at the benefits of turmeric. Of course, traditionally, we all know that turmeric is very well known for its anti-inflammatory effects, but recently, in the last 2 decades, curcumin has also been shown to be a potent immunomodulator agent that can modulate the activation of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, dendritic cells, and more. And these are all immune cells, and curcumin can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. So this research conducted by the U.S. National Center for Biotechnology Information shows that turmeric can modulate the activation of various immune cells, as well as enhance the body's antibody response. And this strengthens your overall immune system. And with a strengthened immunity, you will be able to stay healthy much longer and be protected from COVID-19. And in India.com, it was reported that neem can also help you in fighting against coronavirus. And it was also reported that turmeric and neem are effective against coronavirus, according to a KGM News study. The next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep. So this is a very simple process. You can just put an onion or a banana peel on the heel, as shown in photo, and you can put a sock over it and go to sleep like this. And when your whole body will be completely detoxified and you will be protected from coronavirus, as revealed by Devi Parashakti. And Medical Daily has also reported on the detoxifying effects of onion, and it states that onion contains a high amount of sulfur compounds, which not only give onion their recognizable smell, but are also powerful detoxifying agents with more than 100 sulfur-containing compounds, which are what cause the eyes to tear. Onion can help prevent and treat ailments from diabetes to heart disease. And this is why it's very well known in Ayurveda and traditional Hindu medicine for its medicinal purposes for the treatment of various diseases. And a review published in the Journal of Phytotherapy on the detoxifying effects of onion states that compounds from onion have been reported to have a wide range of health benefits, which includes anti-carcinogenic properties, antiplatelet activity, antithrombotic activity, anti-asthmatic, and antibiotic effects. So now let us look at the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti to protect yourself from COVID-19, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss. So let us understand the science of unclutching as revealed by the Supreme One of Buddhism.
The brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and everyday events in life. According to science, our brains generate an electromagnetic field which may be measured by such instruments as an encephalograph. This electromagnetic field is generated by the brain every time we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer, tumors, mental diseases, and lowering of the immune system, causing death through own willpower. Our thoughts generate intricate energy patterns which can be detected by sensitive equipment and seen by clairvoyant individuals. These energy patterns are known as thought forms. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people, about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we something or dislike to a certain person directly on meeting them. Unclutching is a guide for equanimity and enlightenment. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the same manner. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, the next starts and the third bubble starts. Because the bubbles are rising at high speed, they look like a continuous stream. But our mind is a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubbles, we also experience a neutral space. This neutral space between two thoughts is our original state, the pure silence. It is a state of pure consciousness, the state of God. Since the gap or the neutral space between two thoughts is too small, we think all thoughts are connected and form a shaft. But there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens its grip on the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if its life depends on it. Similarly, we connect thoughts and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, it thinks, if I unclutch from this stick, I will fall and die. is similar to the fear that if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, independent, and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, it may flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our life, our relationships, or our bank balance. Ultimately comes to remove the stick, that is, our identity. Just like the bird, we don't realize that if we drop our mind, at that moment we can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be liberated. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is a story which explains there is a huge tall tree, and in the tallest branch of the tree, there is a golden bird sitting unclutched from everything in bliss, like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels why I should not be like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tasty fruit, it forgets the bird sitting above it. In the same way, she keeps battling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again. One day, as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both and realizes her original state. The small bird realizes that she also can be in the same state of the golden bird and become a Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
Yes, now that we have understood the science of unclutching, you can take a few minutes in your day to practice beautiful science of unclutching. And you can, it's a very simple process. You can just sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and have your eyes closed. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Do not engage with any thoughts or emotions. Purely let the space of unclutching manifest inside of you and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. You can also listen to the Mahavakya on YouTube. So you can spend any time in your day when you just have a few minutes, even 5 minutes is okay, just to experience this space of unclutching. And if you do take some time to do this, you can fill out your minutes for peace by visiting kailasa.tv/minutes for peace, which we will be seeing the link shortly. And you can fill out your minutes for peace and contribute to this global initiative. So now let us look at the next Devi Parashakti, doing the Ajaba Ajaba of the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. And a study conducted by the U.S. National Library of Medicine on the benefits of chanting clearly establishes how doing the Ajaba Ajaba, the chanting, has a direct and positive impact on the physical and mental well-being as well. The study correlates the chanting of the Ajaba Ajaba, the vagus nerve stimulation, to the treatment for depression epilepsy. So here you can see the rest of that study. And another study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes how human intentions, words, and thoughts can actually change the molecular structural formation in water. This research clearly depicts how water, when exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water becomes a very pleasant formation. Whereas when exposed to negative sound vibration, the water molecule becomes disfigured, distorted, and disintegrated. So in the next slide, we will be seeing the photos of water when exposed to positive sound vibration. Words like compassion, thank you, wisdom. You can see how the water forms this beautiful snowflake-like structure. Whereas when the water is exposed to negative sound vibrations, like heavy metal music, or words like "I will kill you, you fool," the water molecule becomes completely disintegrated, disformed, disfigured, as you can see in the lower photos. So you can imagine what happens inside of your own body, which is composed of up to 60% water, when you chant the Ajabajba, the chanting of the sacred cosmic sound. So if you do practice unclutching or the Ajabajba, you can sign up your minutes for peace at kailasa.tv/minutes for peace. The link is projected here. And the Supreme Council of Hinduism has explained that if 10,000 people can do this just for 3 months, we can give such a powerful, super conscious breakthrough to the whole of humanity, because all of us are interconnected. We are not all islands. These are all fundamental truths. When you start unclutching, Kailasa starts experiencing the joy, the bliss of you unclutching. Nothing goes to waste in this cosmos. So you can go ahead and visit kailasa.tv and sign up your minutes for peace. Now let us look at the last method revealed by Devi Parashakti. Being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Swarana that blossoms as Aham, Aham, in the Ananda Swarana. So just being the constant remembrance of the divine, neither having to actively remember nor forgetting, but just being in that constant state of oneness with the divine. When you are in this space, you will be completely protected from coronavirus. So each of these methods revealed by Devi Parashakti is independently powerful enough to protect you from COVID-19. You could practice any one of these methods and rest assured that you will be absolutely safe from COVID. Now, Devi Parashakti revealed that one of the earlier methods that Devi Parashakti revealed is praying and meditating. So the easiest way to do this is just to Devi, offering your devotion to Devi Parashakti. And in this next segment, you will understand some of the ways you can offer your love to Devi through the offerings segment, which we will be entering into shortly. And recently, Bhagavan Sundareshwara revealed that an offering is when you even have the intention to make an offering, when you have the intention to offer your love or gratitude to the divine, it is only because of the grace of the divine, the grace of Swamiji that has happened in your life that you are even having this intention. And you are experiencing this intention because the divine Swamiji is ready to shower upon you, and having the intention to offer is just his grace for you to be blessed with all of the blessings that he is ready to shower upon you. So when you have this intention, you should celebrate it and enjoy the intense devotion that you are experiencing, which is just a gift from the divine. So now let us enter into this offering segment. And as you are preparing for this offering segment, you can take a few minutes now to go ahead and join as a member of Kailasa's HDH YouTube channel, HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. So you can visit Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube, and you can go ahead and join as a member. The join button is right next to the subscribe button. Join as a member, and you can sign up to whichever level of e-Kailashan you would like to be. And when you join as a member, you will have access to various exclusive content, and you will also have the ability to ask your questions directly to Devi Parashakti, Bhagavan Sundareshwara, and to Swamiji during the live darshan in the comment section of the YouTube video, of the live video. you can go ahead and join today. And now let us enter into the offering segment.
Nithyanandam, and welcome back to this segment where we'll be learning more about the traditional offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her darshan and blessings. And in the Hindu tradition, the custom of offering our gratitude, an expression of our gratitude and devotion, the token of gratitude and devotion to the divine, is a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness. The sacred sentiments of the devotee for the divine. And when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. The offerings are not made out of fear or greed, but as a pure expression of the sacred sentiments of the devotee. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. And now, as we get ready to receive Devi Parashakti, receive the darshan and blessings of Devi Parashakti, let us look at this Dhyana Shloka which describes the beauty and splendor of Devi Parashakti. Let us contemplate on the form of Devi Parashakti. And this verse says, Indu nibhaveda karavahni nayanam syat pankajavara japakshara sarayuktam Angahimabhushana vichitravasanam syat Tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. And the translation of this verse, it says, moon-like face holding the Veda books on hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower facing in blessing hands, and one hand with japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse from the Mula Agama, Manonmani Dhyana, which describes Devi Parashakti. This verse is, Dhyayet Devim Trinetram Shashinibhavadanam Vedahastam Dadhanam Savye Padmam Varadamapare Cha Bhayam Cha Kshamalam Vibhushitatam Brahmadhivik Pujita Devimeva Manonmanim Pratidhi. The translation is like moon and holding the Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. And in the Hindu tradition, the traditional offerings to the divine are made with the divine element of gold. Various rituals are performed with the divine element of gold. So let us look at the significance of this sacred element as described in the Atharva Veda. This verse which describes one of the many significance of the divine element of gold. And this verse says, Vedhajutam janmanedam Hiranyam agnirekam priyatamam babhuva Somasyaikyam insitasya parapatata Apamekam veda samreta Ahutate hiranyam trividastvai vishe. The translation of this verse, it says, strictly born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni, this one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apa, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element in the Hindu tradition. It purifies anything that it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and in anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity. Gold is present in all the scriptures, the Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas, and all the Hindu scriptures. It is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in the Veda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. And now, let us look at the various traditional offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti on the website today. The website is www.kailasamela.com/savas. The first is the e-Hundi offerings, which are similar to the Hundi offerings in any temple in the Hindu tradition, where the devotees can offer any amount, any token of gratitude of their choice, and you can make the e-Hundi offerings in multiple currencies and in any amount of your choice. And Devi is described as the one who is fond of true devotion. So let us look at this verse which describes Devi's love for true devotion. This verse says, Bhakti Priya Bhakti Gamya Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha Shambhavi Sharadaradhya Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation for this verse, it says Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotee, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives. When our thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship then becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu, Lord Shiva. Sharadharadhya is the one who is worshipped by Devi Sharada, Devi Saraswati, of Lord Shiva. And the Linga Purana says Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on devotees. And today we can offer a token of love and devotion, the Kanika and the e-Hundi to Devi Parashakti by registering on the website www.kailasamela.com/savas, and you can make any offering of your choice, any amount, and in multiple currencies. So you can visit the website and make your e-Hundi offerings to Devi Parashakti as you get ready to receive her darshan and blessings. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, which is the offering of the conscious resolution. And this verse from Devi Mahatmya, chapter 10, verse 34, describes Sayaitanmohyate Vishwam Shaiva Vishwam Prasuyate Saya Chittaja Vijanam Tushtaruthim Prayaschati. The translation of this verse, it says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. that goddess being prayed without interest in anything gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. We make the offering of the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, and be blessed with the fruition of all the desires and wishes that we were in thought. We make the offering of the conscious resolution, the Sankalpa chanting, on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakasu. This is the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. Devi is described as Nama Parayana Prita in the Lalita Sahasranama. It means she who likes the repetition of her various names. In this offering of the Sahasranama Swarnakas, the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, is a very special and unique offer to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas, and you can make this offering in any number of coins as you wish to. And when you make these offerings of the sacred names inscribed on the gold coins, each sacred name describing the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti herself, you are also blessed to imbibe these very same divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. So you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi is described as the one who is adorned with garlands of pearls and gems. So let us look at this verse that describes the beauty of Devi Parashakti, decked in pearls and gems. This verse says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram punendu vaktra prabham shinjanno purakinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasuram sarvabhita palapradham girisutam vani rama sevitam meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidhim. The translation of this verse, it says, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and a face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And you can make this offering of the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, the Mukta Anguti to Devi Parashakti, and receive her blessings to be showered by her pure love and compassion in all your business endeavors. So you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower. And in the Kamikagama, it is described, one of the significance of the gold lotus is described in one of the verses. And this is one of the many spiritual significances of the gold lotus. So let us look at this verse from the Kamikagama. It says, अष्टविद्येश्वरोपेत कुम्भावरणसंयुतं सर्वे ससूत्रवस्त्राढ्या हेमपङ्कजभूषिताः सपिधनः पुरजश्च पक्वबिल्वफलप्रभा स्नपनध्याय संसिद्धा प्रमाणेन समन्विताः. The translation of this verse, it says all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. They should be adorned with lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of spiritual references in the Hindu tradition to using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involving the consecration of deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas during worship involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called a lotus. The base of the Paramashiva linga is a lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered a lotus, the one who is about to bloom. And you can offer the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes and be blessed to have this 8 space bubbles and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life. And you can make this offering of the gold lotus on the website www.kailasamailer.com/save us. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarnamati, the gold clothing. And this verse from Saundharya Lahari describes the beauty and grace, splendor of Devi Parashakti's lotus feet. And this verse says, Nakadhiti Viti Sanchanna Namajjana Tamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakruta Saroruha. The translation of this verse, it says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that the lotus flower too. And you can make the offering of the Swarnamati, the gold clothing to Devi Parashakti, to adorn her sacred lotus feet and be in constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in even the most difficult aspects of life. You can make this offering of the Swarnamati on the website www.kailasamailer.com/save. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mangalika, the gold hairline jewelry. And Devi is described as Sudha Sharabhivarshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all her nerves in Sahasrara Chakra. That is she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Swarna Mangalika represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is freely open with the sacred sentiment of gratitude. You can make this offering of the Swarna Mangalika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete completion. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/save. And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratiksha Pada Puja. And Devi is just the grace of Devi and the illuminous splendor of Devi's story, the devotees prostrating at her feet. Her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. Guna is the darkness which is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain the ultimate knowledge. So you can make the offerings the Pratiksha Pada Puja, which is the traditional gratitude, the ritualistic offering of gratitude, one of the most sacred offerings of gratitude from disciple to guru. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/save. And you're blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, Jagadguru Mahasamidhanam, His Divine Highness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Nija Avatara of Devi Parashakti herself. You can make this offering of the Pratiksha Pada Puja on the website www.kailasamailer.com/save. In the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth, which is the offering of gratitude for the continued presence, the continued protection and blessings of the divine in our lives. And you can make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth, on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff using Jagatguru Mahasamidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Make the offering of the e-Hindi, which can be offered in any amount and in multiple currencies. And yes, this is the summary of all the various traditional offerings that can be made on the website. You can make the offering of the e-Hindi in any amount and in multiple currencies. And the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, you can make this offering also on the website. The Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the pure gold coin, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering in 3 different denominations and in any size, in any number of coins as you wish to offer. And the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, this offering can be made in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, can also be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering also on the website. The Swarna Mamtika, the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And you can also make the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the traditional offering of seva, the gratitude, the token of gratitude, the ritualistic offering of gratitude from disciple to guru. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And you can also make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the sacred cloth, Devi Parashakti, on the website. So let us now look at the website where you can make all of these traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti as you get ready for the darshan and blessings, as you get ready to celebrate Devi Parashakti happening in your life. So let's look at the website. So here is the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas, where you can make all your traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti by clicking on the links on step 2. So you can make the offering of the traditional ornaments and sevas and also the offerings of the e-Hindi by clicking on these links on step 2. And if you would like to make an intention to make an offering today, and if you would like to manifest, if you would like to receive the blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality, you can fill out the form on the link on step 1. And if you would like to fill out the details, the Sankalpa details for yourself and your family members after making your traditional offerings of ornaments or sevas, you can fill out the form on step 3. So let us look at the link where you can make the offerings of the e-Hindi in multiple currencies. The offerings can be made in US dollars, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, Canadian dollars, euros, Indian rupees, Singaporean dollars, Malaysian ringgits, Great Britain pound and the Chinese yen, and you can make this offering in any amount of your choice. And if you'd like to offer traditional ornaments and sevas to Devi Parashakti, you can make the offerings on this link where you can make the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution, the Sahasranama Swarnakasu, which is the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. The Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, with different sizes, the Swarna Padma Pushpa. The gold lotus flower can also be offered in 3 different sizes, the Swarnamati, which is the gold florin drawn on the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. The Swarnamangtika, the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the ritualistic offering of gratitude from the disciple to Guru, and the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred cloth, and all of these offerings and traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti can be made on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas. And with this, now we'll be moving to the next segments of this program, where we'll be learning more about the various facilities being made available for the well-being of humanity during these times of the pandemic through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa and as guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. So let us now learn more about the various contributions for the well-being of humanity by the various Kailasa de facto embassies and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Nithyanandam, everyone. So welcome back to this segment. With the blessings of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandana. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Chadusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So, multi-layer quarantine COVID care protection centers at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies. So, what we learned from this segment today is concerning statistics of the mental health and global peace due to the COVID-19, and what are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism contributions for global peace and Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's spiritual solutions for COVID-19, and Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, some glimpses why temple-based ecosystems, and UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions. The crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now let us see some statistics and current news. In Australia, it reported a new record number of coronavirus cases, which were more than 2,400 new locally acquired infections reported nationwide, and the figures are passing 2,000 in a single day for just the second time. The World Health Organization recently made a big statement about the Delta variant of COVID-19. The COVID-19 has now killed more Americans than the influenza pandemic of 1918 to 19. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. The 1918 to 19 flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with an 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of American 2% with 676,000. The US death toll from the COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000. The coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 influenza pandemic did, and now it is declared as the US deadliest pandemic ever because it is the highest death toll so far due to a pandemic. Axios and the Associated Press both reported the grim milestone recently. People infected with alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus than into the air than the original COVID strain. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. COVID-19 Delta variant is still the most concerning, says the World Health Organization experts. In US, the COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control in the United States, says the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 new infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become more dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. This surge in the Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Mr. Fauci says, he said, in a country of our size, you can't be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You've got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable. According to the World Economic Forum, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful with the increased violence, incidences, and fatalities after the pandemic. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and depressive disorders during the COVID-19 pandemic. The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety and depressive disorder, what it was in January to June 2019, in a period of 6 months, was 11%. Now, in just that is before pandemic. Now, after the pandemic, in just 1 month of January 2021, it rose up to 41.1%. Some more statistics confirming the same, that the younger adults are reporting more symptoms of anxiety and depressive disorder during the pandemic. Stress in America, a national mental health crisis. COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced the increased stress over the course of the pandemic. Of the health workers who treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers before the COVID-19 pandemic, depression was 15%, and during the pandemic, it rose up to 40.7%. And before the COVID-19 pandemic, the anxiety was 29%, and now it rose up to 72%. Living under stay-at-home orders, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. And 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. Nearly 82% of women surveyed said their lives have been negatively disrupted by the pandemic. Nearly 70% of the women who have experienced these disruptions are concerned their career growth may be limited as a result. The global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to countries into recession in 2020, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization, COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict-affected nations. The COVID-19 crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic. In India, the Mumbai mayor said, the third wave of COVID-19 is already upon Mumbai, pointing to a sudden spike in cases. The third wave of COVID-19 is not coming, it's already here, said the Kishori Padnekar, adding to that announcement regarding the matter they already been made in Nagpur. Breakthrough infections found in 25% of health staff. According to a study, a little over 25% of health workers were infected with coronavirus despite getting fully vaccinated. A recent study has given an insight on the breakthrough infection due to the Delta variant. The study, jointly conducted by the Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology, Maximum hospitals in Delhi NCR found that the vaccination breakthroughs were far more common during the Delta outbreak in Delhi than previously reported. New COVID-19 variant Mu shows signs of vaccine resistance. Now that we have seen the statistics across the world of the COVID-19, which not only affecting the physical health, the fatalities increasing and the violent incidences increasing, it is affecting the mental health and leading to the global, affecting the global peace. So how to cope up with the current COVID-19 pandemic? It is important to address the COVID pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. And the global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic change is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with new paradigms of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives to carry them through this crisis. Join the COVID Care Protection Centers. Register now through the link below, https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Sustainable developmental goals. Making peace with the nature is possible if we start now. Making peace with the nature is possible only if we start now. Even amid a pandemic, 2021 can go down as the year we made peace with the nature and set the planet to healing. Our environmental, social, and economic challenges are interlinked. They must be tackled together. For example, we cannot achieve the sustainable developmental goals, including ending poverty, by 2030 if climate change and ecosystem collapse are undermining food and water supplies in the world's poorest countries. We have no choice but to transform our economics and societies by valuing nature and putting its health at the heart of all our decisions. Now let's watch a small clip on making peace with the nature. World Health Organization Health and Peace Initiative. Health and peace are interrelated. In the words of the Director General of World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros, there cannot be health without peace, and there cannot be peace without health. Amid COVID, we need enhanced international coordination to build peace. Tackling the pandemic and building resilience in fragile states require concerted international action at local, national, and global levels. As the humanitarian and economic toll of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to grow, so does the risk that this crisis will fuel new conflicts around the world and while stemming prospects for resolving ongoing ones. Stronger health systems and universal health coverage must be a priority. Remarks to the General Assembly special session in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time since 1945, the entire world is confronted by a common threat, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, or faith. A new social contract between people, governments, and private sector, civil society, and more can tackle the roots of inequality with paid taxation on income and wealth, universal benefits, and opportunities for all. Now let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contributions, global peace. Vedic civilization beautifully describes that yastu sarvani bhutani atmani ivanu pushyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tadona vigugupshate. Isha Upanishad verse 6. Global peace is the byproduct of individual bliss. Whenever an individual goes through a spiritual bliss, he manifests a beautiful, peaceful life for him and everyone around him. If he is powerful enough, he moves the whole city and manifest peace. If he's more powerful, he moves the whole village and more, even the whole country. If he's powerful enough, like incarnation, he moves the whole world and manifests peace for them. The individual bliss is in the level of Om, the microscopic level Om, or the macroscopic level universe. Whatever level it may be, global peace is the byproduct of the individual. Now, how do we get this individual peace? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares beautifully so many techniques. Practicing completion, by practicing unclutching, one can achieve individual peace. So let's listen from Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism of the techniques of completion and techniques of unclutching.
Consciousness you are carrying and the conscious. Today I wanted to expand on the science of completion. How the science of completion can directly impact the consciousness you are carrying and the consciousness embodied in many bodies. Please understand, the more deeper you go inside you, means more deeper space you go inside you, more expanded you become, more one with everything, more oneness you experience. Because the more deeper you go, the more you experience the unified field of consciousness. Various words are used. Some of the Hindu traditions uses the word Atma, Brahman. Some of the Hindu traditions use the word Nirvana. Whatever word you may use, Atman, Brahman, Nirvana, unified field of consciousness, whatever. But one thing I want to tell you, the deeper and deeper you go in your inner space, you experience the vast oneness. The more superficial you are, the more incompletions you carry with others, even with yourself. The more superficial you become, even your own right hand and left hand fights with each other. Different parts of you fights with you. Different thoughts of you fights with you. Even you fight with you, the more superficial you go, the more deeper you start traveling. First, you get integrated. The you fighting with you stops. Then, the people around you get integrated. They fighting with you stops. Completion with yourself, then completion with others, then comes completion with other things, not just living beings, even with inanimate beings. The completion starts happening. Even with a nature, completion starts happening. Please understand, the more deeper you travel, the more deeper you go, the more deeper you settle down, the more deeper you start living. Your cognition expands. Your cognition includes. Your cognition becomes more and more inclusive. More joy, more bliss, more knowledge, more enlightenment. Please understand. The more and more completion happens in you, you will see everyone around you feels complete with you. That is why I am saying, whether they have body or they are disembodied, in the deepest corners of your being, deepermost layers of your being, deepest parts of your being, you experience such powerful awareness, such joy. Going into the deepermost corners of your being only is a joy, it's a power. Because suddenly you will see everybody around you, everything around you listens to you. It really becomes a vibrant power where the tendency to exploit is not there. Listen, that's a very important thing. Power without the tendency to exploit. Because as long as you feel the other person is separate from you, when you get the power, it will always be used for exploiting. Because the other person is separate from you, then naturally what you will feel? Let me suck all the possible energy, intelligence, time, talent, treasure. But when you feel the other person is your own extension, you will see, you will be showering so much, enriching so much. The power you have will not be exploiting, it will be enriching. I tell you, even if death comes at this moment, I can tell you very clearly, I can face the death directly and tell the death, I have enriched every human being more than what I received from anybody. I have given to every human being whom I met in my life more than what I received from them. My accounts is clear. I am ready. Come on, let's go. My accounts is clear. I don't have debt. No credit card money to be paid, loans to be paid, no debit card, no credit card. My accounts is clear. Understand, when you feel everyone is your extension, the power given to you, the power you gain, see, any living is power. Powerful way. Even in that, you will become powerful. So any lifestyle you choose, you will get power in that field. Whether it is exploiting or enriching, murdering or raping or go on serving. Whatever lifestyle you choose, living is power. When you go into the deepermost core of your being and start living based on completion, I tell you, the first power you will experience is everything around you listens to you. That power will simply make you enrich everyone. the best power you can have through living is power of enriching. Whatever you do, as I said, whether you live the life of enriching or exploiting, you will become powerful. I tell you, the power of exploiting brings more and more conflict within and without. And those conflicts naturally bring suffering. And the power of enriching brings more and more completion in you and in others. This full month, Nithyananda Sangha all over the world. The other day I was seeing, we have officially presence in more than 50 countries. As devotees, group of devotees, we have presence in 100 countries. All over the world, we are going to celebrate this whole month for Global Peace Month, impacting global peace. All of us this whole month will live completion and do samskara dahana kriya, means burning the patterns which separates us from others, burning the patterns which are constantly keeping us in a superficial level. All over the world, we will be doing samskara dahana kriya, burning our patterns and leading us to more and more completion. And we also have special 3 Nitya Dhyana Yoga program teaching people science of completion and facilitating samskara dahana kriya. This month, 20th, 21st and 22nd, this whole month, all over the world, all our temples, ashrams, centers, yoga centers, schools, colleges, universities should do samskara dahana kriya, should do the practice of burning all the incompletions and patterns which leads to conflicts, bringing more and more peace inside us and outside us, spreading peace. This whole month, let's impact global peace. Let us really contribute to the global peace, not just talking about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not just talking about it. Let's do it. Even if you teach the samskara dahana kriya to 50 people in each area, each place where we have centers, ashrams, temples, two-way centers, yoga centers, even 50 people, each Tanidar teaches, enriches them with this science. The amount of suffering and negative waves, negative vibes reduction can contribute so much to the world. Please understand, one positive person can burn millions people negativity. Experientially, with evidence we proved, one positive person has already burnt at least 20 million people's negativity in last 10 years and brought peace. So each one of you, if you stand up as one positive being, one authentic, responsible, enriching being. I tell you, we can do so much to the world. It will be better place than the time we entered. When we leave, it should be better place. That's all. When we leave the earth, it should be better place. So understand, inner peace is your birthright. Go to the depths of your being. Bring more and more completion into you. Completion with others. And start living Advaita. Today in the Inner Awakening session, it's all about completion with others. So last 6 days, literally, you worked so much, one by one by one by one by one, layer by layer by layer by layer. The completion with yourself. Now comes completion with others. Today, we are starting the science of completion with others. It's one of the most science. Does so much to human beings, not just healing their relationships, even inside their consciousness, this inner space, so much of good is done. So much of awakening is done. See, when you have completed with others, the kind of strength you feel is the power of Advaita. Strength of Advaita. Today the Inner Awakening sessions are all about completion with others. We have long session today working on completing with others. So with this, because today we have a long session with Inner Awakening, we are also lagging behind the syllabus. Actually, it is a good news, it's not a bad news, because participants are so sincere. They are going through the whole process so intensely, sincerely. Because of that, we are little delayed, but today I am going to catch up. Today I am going to spend more time and catch up with them, with the syllabus. So, I conclude today with this. I'll move to the next sessions, IA sessions and all that. Because never I conclude. There is no conclusion for satsang. It goes on and on and on. Only the audience change. So with this, I move to the next step. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, Nithyananda Nagar of Mysore.
Social answer.
Now, let's listen from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that the self-transformation is the secret to achieve global peace.
Social answer means I'll tell, oh, you should all work for global peace. You should all work for turning the world. You should work for revolution. You should work for all these, that things. You should vote only the party which says that it will stop the war and all these things. This is the social answer. Nonsense. If you want the honest answer, I tell you, simply transform yourself. You can't do anything. If at all you can do, you would have done it. Be honest. If you can do, you would have done it. You are raising this question because you are not able to do. Am I right? So let us be very clear. Let us be honest. We are not able to do socially. That's the truth. That's the reason you are sitting here and raising the question. I tell you, understand few important things. There are a lot more attached to this question. There are many things which is attached to this question. We always feel the present is the world is totally spoiled. It is not going according to the rules or how it is supposed to be. It was wonderful once upon a time. In ancient time, things were going properly. Everything was well and great. And I tell you, 10,000 years ago, they found some writings on stone in Harappa Mohenjo-daro culture. Some stone writings have been discovered. The other day I read a beautiful book about that stone writings. That writings, it says, oh, nowadays the society is not as it should be. So much of war. There is no peace. In the early times, there was so much of peace. Society was really great. Things were as it should be. And it almost looks like a today newspaper editorial. 10,000 years ago, the same thing carved on a stone. Then understand, there was no such time as only good prevailed. It is just a fantasy. Hinduism, they call it Satya Yuga, the age of truth. There was a time only truth prevailed. And every religion, Christianity, they say the Garden of Adam and Eve. There was a time everything was wonderful. Every religion has got the fantasy. The past was great. There was golden past. Always the idea of golden past exists only in the past. The more you go back, again you say the past was great. And I tell you one thing, it is a wonderful way of postponing accepting the reality. Otherwise, I can be sure the world was same as it is today. Whether it is 5,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. Maybe one thing, there was no CNN channel that time. So the news did not reach you so quickly. That's all. The news did not reach you so quickly. That may be the only difference. But otherwise, I can be sure the good and the bad was equal. Good and the bad was equal. The same amount of wars were there. All the other things were there. You read the Puranas, the mythological stories of India, you see enough of things. Enough of dirty things. I think sometimes I find a little more. And if you read completely the Puranas or the Hindu scriptures, there are a lot of things much worse than modern day. The criminal activities or bad things or negative things, whatever you say, all this stuff. And never think only present day is corrupted or violent. In the ancient days also, all these things were there. Only one thing was not there, the CNN news or the internet. So the news did not reach you. But otherwise I can tell you, enough the good and bad was there. It always will exist. It will exist. All you can do is, if you awaken yourself, if you reach the enlightenment state, you can go beyond it. And I tell you, enlightenment is the only service you can do to the society. Just become enlightened so that you will reduce the negativity. Now, as of now, you are also the part of negative group. Naturally, we will be a negative group. As long as we are unenlightened, we will be the part of collective negative consciousness. So if you become enlightened, at least you will reduce your weight. That's the only thing we can do. Nothing else can be done. So all I request you to do is just become enlightened. Realize that you are a lion. That's the only way to help yourself and the society. Otherwise, all revolutions, you see, all revolution again end up as one more tradition. In last 2000 years, 3000 wars have happened in the humanity. In 2000 years, 3000 wars. Human beings have not done anything except doing wars, except fighting. Everybody claims he wants to do revolution. He wants to spread peace. You see, every country claims their army is a defensive army. Then who is offending? Tell me. Every country says defensive army. Then who is offending? These are all just, games. The idea of peace is a pure game. Everybody wants to spread the peace according to them, not according to the other person. They want peace according to them. The other day I was in one interreligious gathering. One guy is preaching, let all of you convert to my religion so that we will not have fight. He wants peace the way in which he wanted, not the way in which. And there's a beautiful saying, the sword of Muhammad, it is written, peace alone should survive, something like that. He has written some statement about the peace on the sword. We all take sword to spread the peace. So no revolution is going to help, because in the last 2000 years, 3000 revolutions have happened, but still world is same, I think much worse. So no revolution is going to help, only individual evolution is going to help. So be very clear. Instead of working in the outer world, start working in the inner world. That will help you and society some way. Social answer means listen carefully. The space of Shanti, is where Kailasa grows. Listen carefully. It is in the deep powerfulness of peace, or peace-centered powerfulness is the ground, breeding ground for Paramashivatva to manifest. Please understand. Like how pure mirror reflects everything, pure Shanti-based Shakti, peace-based powerfulness reflects Paramashiva. Paramashiva manifests in peace-based powerfulness. Please understand. Neither violence nor powerlessness. Powerlessness is weakness. Violence is abusive. Peace-centered powerfulness. Powerfulness-centered peace. All the Upanishads starts with peace, completes with peace. Shanti mantra. Starts with Shanti mantra, gets completed with Shanti mantra. Peace-based powerfulness is a fundamental requirement for Paramashivatva to manifest. That is why People who don't want us to manifest Paramashivatva or power manifestation do not want to allow the peace in our life or do not want peace in our campus. Understand? But only if you are peaceful, which cannot be shaken even by the demons and devils and rakshasas, we can be in eternal peace. So, remember this very clearly. Peace alters the very DNA structure, genetic structure, the core Anu Mahat structure. Understand? Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. The consciousness in you is atom inside the atom, Mahat, more than Mahat. That Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. That consciousness starts growing in you with more and more peace-based powerfulness developing in you. Nothing can be clutching. Spend more and more time, energy in unclutching. It will never be wasted. Time spent on unclutching is the most productive time for you in your life, because it completely makes you altogether a different material. Understand? It makes your very biomemory, muscle memory, core structure, molecular structure, genetic structure, DNA structure, everything, all the 8 energy flow circuits, energy flows, 1, the pure conscious explosion. So totally 8 energy flow circuits exist in you. All the 8 explodes when you unclutch. Understand? Unclutching is the space of Sri Kailasa. Listen. Every chanting, every prayer in Hinduism ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times. Means peace, peace, peace. Hinduism is the real religion. Loving peace, living peace. Individual level, social level, global level. Understand? Hinduism lost all its 56 nations, 200 states, 10,000 kingdoms, samsthanas, is not a loss to Hinduism, to planet Earth, human beings. Wherever Hinduism is practiced, kept alive, the ideal of global peace is, just do this one simple statistics. You yourself study, Google and study. Take the top 10 religions and list how many people they converted in last 200 years, how many people they killed. List for each religion. I can be 200% sure you yourself will realize Hinduism is the most peace-loving and peace-living religion. Conversion nor terrorism. Neither conversion nor terrorism. Being the supreme pontiff of the most peace-loving, peace living religion. I give you all my blessings on this International Peace Day. Understand? It is need to keep the global peace as a living possibility, and we need to make this global peace as reality. Just talking about global peace will not work. Working for global peace only is the responsibility of the real living Hindu. Anyone who wants to claim themselves as a Hindu or practicing Hindu should work for global peace. Global peace is our responsibility. Every Hindus have the responsibility to bring global peace. So you can also throw a challenge. See, if you are making a Hindu micronation, you can throw this, your friends, family, 10 people. Let them participate in the challenge and then let them send the challenge to others. So I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus to become founding fathers of Kailasa micronation in your countries. You can also make a challenge, like how they made ice bucket challenge and all that. We can make a challenge. You form Hindu micronation and claim, I am the founding father of the Hindu micronation Kailasa. And then you can invite your family, friends for a challenge. 11 people. You form and you challenge 11 people and they also form and they spread. So let us start spreading. This project is my message on this International Day of Peace. Let us working for global peace instead of just talking. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. This is the message. The work we do will talk for us. The talk we do will not work for us. Global peace is the responsibility of Hindus. We living, practicing Hindus, not only we should achieve the individual peace through unclutching yoga, meditation, we should also create an ecosystem where the global peace starts manifesting. This Kailasa Hindu micronation is the enlightenment ecosystem. I request every living practicing Hindu to manifest, do it. So the global peace can manifest from these Kailasa Hindu micronations all over the world. Hindus have
Now, let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's mission of global peace and superconsciousness breakthrough. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and Hindu diaspora, are working for global peace and to give a superconsciousness breakthrough to humanity. It is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's mission to revive a conscious world where the global issues at climate, economic, social, health, and humanitarian levels cease to exist from their very root, turning the problems of poverty, hunger, violence, discrimination into powerful living through the experience of oneness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working from the very grassroots level to usher in an era of peace at all levels, individual, societal, national, and global. His deep insights into the workings of the human mind body emotions have enabled him to powerfully and directly address various social and emotional problems facing humanity today. Some of the ways that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides spiritual solutions to combat the pandemic and other issues. Since the beginning of the global lockdown, the amount of contribution and activism of Kailasa has increased multifold through the Paramashivoham program, bringing the super consciousness breakthrough to the whole humanity. By starting the Akhanda Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna and contributing almost 3 billion minutes so far, Paramashiva Sankalpa chanting, the sacred Sanskrit mantra chanting to heal 24/7 via Zoom sessions, spiritual healing to one and all 24/7, helping humanity to cope up with insecurity, fear, disease by empowering individuals to heal themselves and learn to cope up emotions like depression and tough situations in relationships, providing alternative solutions to worldly problems through power manifestation, initiating thousands every day into the innate superhuman capabilities into the Kailas Kotiyar sessions, providing healthy solutions like a technique to clear the stomach from the Ayurveda solution, which ultimately brings clarity out to the spiritual truths and give a conscious breakthrough. In the long term, establishing self-sufficient communities, continuing and intensifying the service of Annadan, the free food in Nithyananda Annalayas around the world, including Tirunamalai and Los Angeles and many other adhinams, paving way with the New World Order, starting the agriculture-based communities in Adi Kailas and several other locations. Peacekeepers of Kailasa offering various life solutions from the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Hinduism prescribes various methods for global healing. One such is Maheshwara Puja, nullifying the collective negativity simply through the presence of the avatar and his order of monks, offering Maheshwara Puja to the natural calamities hit victims. Bhava Samadhi Darshan to raise the individual consciousness breakthrough. Devi Parashakti, Akashic reading, the cosmic revelations. Now let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spiritual solutions for COVID-19. Society was created with the delusional ideas of too many human beings, blind spots, and the decisions made from those blind spots. If the visionary of a civilization or country or nation has blind spots when he developed the vision for it, the whole civilization suffered those blind spots forever. Now it's time that nature, Prakriti, resets itself. Many of the blind spot-based visions, ideas become important components of the society. This pralaya which is happening is melting down everything which is delusion-based. The world as we know is gone, and let us celebrate God. This isolation which is seemingly endless with an unknown future which is compelling humanity to make 100% lifestyle change is something to be deeply dwelt upon. All problems need to be addressed only with spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. To stop people having mental breakdown, pandemic fatigue, collapsing, depression, destruction, and also give them the super consciousness breakthrough and revive the enlightened civilization, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuously gives spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions. Some of the spiritual solutions and powerful cognitions are unclutching, practicing completion, practicing oneness, practicing ajapa japa of Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, consciously building deep feeling connection, yoga, puja, vegetarian diet, and nirahara samyama. It's time we all take responsibility to save humanity, to protect people. All these spiritual solutions are offered free and available online and open for all. Let us take a few minutes now and share with as many people as possible, and let us save the world, and let us give them the experience of these powerful solutions, especially the experience of untouching, Nirvikalpa Samadhi initiation, and save people from this pandemic fatigue, epidemic fatigue, destruction, and delusion. Help people to have a super consciousness breakthrough and sail through this pralaya. This unclutching, Nirvikalpa Samadhi Jnana Yajna, people from over 50 countries continuously radiate the space of Paramashiva by practicing this meditation 24/7, 7 days a week. It started from 13th May 2020, and at any given point of time, they are 4 to 8 zones actively unclutching around the world. Join this movement at http://kailasa.tv/minutes for peace. http://kailasa.tv/minutes 4 peace. The life solutions based on the ancient Hindu tradition, the meditation and yoga techniques from the scriptures, the cognitions rooted in the highest truth, the lifestyle based on living and radiating the higher values of life, and powerful way of living and realizing one's ultimate potential form the foundation of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's teachings, which by their inherent nature provide the foundation for peace on planet Earth. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism launched the Minutes for Peace initiative, which aimed to reduce crime globally by conducting mass meditations around the world in parallel. In 2014, just after 2 years of launching the program, it crossed over 1 billion minutes of meditation. Scientific studies have shown a reduced crime rate after participation in the meditation and completion techniques. In 1976, it was found that when 1% of a community practiced meditation, the crime rate was reduced by 16% on an average. The current tally on the Minutes for Peace website is more than 4.3 billion cumulative minutes of meditation logged, including all the events, programs, festivals where people have gathered in large numbers and participated in meditations and rituals. The total count comes out to be a staggering 409 billion minutes so far. You can see some of the glimpses. At one event, about 5,000 devotees gathered and participated in a 48-day meditation program called Shuddhatvaitam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has hosted Kumbh Mela in the United States in Los Angeles since 2007. Nithyananda Sangha is entrusted as the only organization to host Kumbh Mela outside India by the Akhila Bharatiya Akhada Parishad. In September 2006, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized the first confluence for world peace to honor the memory of those who lost their lives saving others on September 11, 2001 at Irvine, California, United States. The second Confluence for Peace was held in Los Angeles in 2007 in collaboration with Vedanta Society, BATS, ISKCON, Siddha Yoga, and other organizations. The Kumbh Mela festival spread fast to other countries, including Australia, Canada, etc. In 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has organized a month-long peace walk covering 1,000 kilometers and 1,000 villages to bring together in harmony from all walks of life, to promote feeling connection and oneness among people. During the walk, health camps were conducted in villages along its path. the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has conducted the large-scale collective meditations on September 21st International Peace Day to raise the collective consciousness. One of the greatest contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is initiating thousands into sannyas. Sannyas is our social responsibility, and let us save Hinduism and humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revitalized the monastic tradition of sannyas by initiating thousands into Nithyananda monastic order. The all-renouncing monks contribute the best things to human civilization, living their life with the cognition that life is for others. These monks and nuns act as the harbingers of peace and empowerment for the human society distraught with violence, depression, and other forms of life negativity. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient practice of embarking on pilgrimages, taking spiritual aspirants to such as the Himalayas, Kailas, Varanasi, Angkor and various powerful temples of India. Even though prevalent in India, this practice is rapidly losing its original context, turning into a recreational family vacation. Reviving the original spiritual context, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made it possible for modern-day human beings to benefit from the spirit present at these centers and accelerate their journey of spiritual evolution, hence ensuring individual and collective peace as a natural consequence. Food system hold key to ending the hunger. Under the Red Om, launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, through the Annalayas, that means the free food donation centers, at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa worldwide. Under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has served over 5 billion organic meals so far. Giving free food to all the citizens is the economic policy of Kailasa, deriving the reference from Vedas and Agamas. Recently, the humanitarian initiative launched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the opening of Kailasa's COVID care centers in India, where the monastery campuses have been turned into a multi-layer quarantine facility to safeguard the inmates against any possible point of contact with the outer world. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened this service free to all people, regardless of any differences in age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, or socio-economic status. Food, shelter, internet, and all basic facilities, including medical care, are provided at these COVID care centers free of cost and for an indefinite period of time. The outcome has been splendid. Zero infection rate so far among the participants, a feat not achieved by anywhere else in the world, let alone in India. This response model of handling the COVID-19 pandemic at a community level, along with guidelines and recommendations for governments, has been recognized and accepted by the United Nations as well. You can see some of the glimpses where the participants of the COVID care program offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism are enjoying a healthy, blissful spiritual lifestyle in multi-layered location. They enjoy a stress-free time following a spiritual morning routine, doing yoga, doing puja, temple sevas, kara sevas, and celebrating festivals. Join the Kailasa's COVID care protection centers with the link below, especially if you are in India. Make use of this opportunity. https://kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Now let us see the revival of temple sciences and ecosystems. The Kailasa's COVID care centers majorly are the temple-based ecosystems. Let us understand the importance of reviving these temple-based ecosystems. Now, in the times when COVID-19 is rampant and the ancient temples are in a lockdown because of the risk of widespread corona disease, the devotees of these temples were visiting and having darshan of their gods and goddesses for thousands of years, yet all these ancient sacred sentiments have come to a harming halt after the lockdowns have taken place. The religious fervor of the devotees is being lost due to the pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the e-Kailasa ecosystem and bringing all the ancient traditions of the online platform on Kailasa TV, YouTube, and Facebook. Now, let us see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explaining the temple sciences.
Deities in this culture. Anybody coming from outside just wonder, is this just sentimental carved stones, worshipping culture, or just artistic sculpture? What is the invisible function of temples' deities?
See, both questions, same answer. That is the reason I wanted to answer both the questions together. Modern day dish TVs, antennas, mobile towers, all of them work in the level of certain frequency where the words, pictures, visuals can be transmitted. See the verbalization and visualization, names and forms can be transmitted to their place through these mobile towers, dish TV antennas. But the temple towers are created to transmit super consciousness from one place to another place. Please understand. In Meenakshi's time, there was television, conscious television. It used to be in stone slab. And if you just sit in front of that stone TV, meditate, connect with Meenakshi, she will appear live and answer whatever you want. So each of the stone slabs only slowly later on became deities. You can see in our temples this happening. The TVs in which I am appearing and speaking are slowly becoming deities. They are receiving worship. Flowers are offered to it. Aarti is done to it. Incense is given to it. Now, all our temples are planning to have a separate throne for this TV. In Los Angeles, already I am on the throne.